No job number yet, but this is the Open Window School in Bellevue. We've done work out here over the years, seal coating, striping. I was following up on seal coating to see if they needed another seal coat this year, since we did this a few years ago, and we're going to hold off on the seal coating, but they called me out to look at some asphalt and concrete repairs as well. This is one of the entrances that comes up to this circular area. There's no work on this right now, on this area. This is a brand new parking lot that they put here just a couple months ago. Up here is some of our concrete work that needs to be done. So this entrance is going to be the way to get to this area. That's the closest spot to get up to it, and I'm going to take you to it. But we're going to look at some end caps, some staircases that need to be done, and it looks pretty easy to do. And then a couple concrete panels there. Down this path, we also have some asphalt repairs down on the far end. There's actually going to be one right here too that I haven't marked. The best way to get to that is going to be through this playground over on this side of the property. Or we use this little asphalt path to run by the ball field up and then over to this area to get that done. So I'm going to show you these areas of repair. I'm also going to put in a price for restriping all the parking stalls here. There's one stall in the new parking that got rust on it, so they'd like to refreshen that stall. And then that's it. Just stall restriping, and then one stall to stripe there. These asphalt repairs, that concrete repair. Contact is Ken Fox. That's his phone number. He's new with the company here, or with the school. There's the address. This is with Open Window School. Okay, so we're going to start on the north end of the property. This is that the new stall area that I was talking to you about. This was the area that we were going to do seal coating on this year, but I said let's just wait one more year and do it in 2021. You can see the stall lines are very faded, so this whole parking lot we need to restripe all the parking stall lines, but we don't have to do the stenciling. No stenciling, okay? Just the stall lines. We don't have to do the speed bumps either. All right, but let's start here at this first island, which is down here on the west side of the property. We've got alligator cracking right through this area right here. And I'd like to do a rectangular patch here, if possible. It's gonna probably be at an angle, but we've got a 22 by 8 patch here that goes in between the two planters. Okay, so that's one. This area right here, it's been crack filled. It looks like it could be repaired, so I'd like to get it repaired. This one right here, we've got a 30 foot by 4 foot patch to do there. This would be from the planter, 1, 2, 3, 4 stall widths down, or length. The length is 4 stalls, and then 4 feet wide. Okay, 30 by 4. I want to add some crack filling in on this property, so we need to add in approximately 300 feet of crack fill in this parking lot. So we'll touch up some of these, being that we're not going to seal coat. Here's a patch right here, alligator cracking, plus you've got that one right there that needs to be redone. You can see we did a patch here once before, but that's starting to sink. They threw a bunch of crack fill in there hoping it would do the trick, but I don't think it's going to. So we're going to need to do a price for patching this area right here. So this right here is going to end up being a 22 by 10 patch here. Being that we're cutting into this existing patch, we'll have to probably recut it and do a new one. So 22 by 10. This one right here, we're going to fix this as well. This I'm thinking we can just do this part right here for now. We'll catch this little piece plus this. All right, but we need to do a 12 by 6 here. 12 by 6 on that area. All right. Crack fill was done on this. I think we might be able to leave that alone. No, let's get it. They tried to do it with crack fill, and I'm gonna say let's try to patch this thing up again. All right, so what we've got here is we've got an 8 foot by 6 foot here. 8 by 6. Okay, this area right here is starting to sink. The asphalt's starting to sink here, so we need to patch this back. This is right at the handicap stall. So that means on that striping that we're going to redo, we're going to have to redo 2 ADA. Actually, yeah, we'll end up restriping 2 ADA symbols with white border and blue background, because we're going to have to cut this out, this asphalt right here, starting to sink. Okay, this is up at the top of the hill by the gymnasium. Okay, it's be tough to do this video with kids. I don't want to freak anybody out. All right, so this down here is a 24 foot. So we got 24 foot by 10 foot patch here. 24 by 10 to remove and replace. We've got iron right here. It's in the way. We're gonna take that patch. Actually, we can cut it just short. We don't have to go past that. We can just go to here. Let's go just short of that. Okay, so we're gonna have to take off about 5 feet. So this is gonna end up being, well, let's just say this is a 20 foot by 10 foot. 20 foot by 10 right here. Okay, I don't think there's any more repairs on this parking lot. So I think that's it for here. All right, you see there's some crack fill that he marked. Some of his crew did it themselves. All right, I'm gonna take you up into by the gymnasium, and the gymnasium has one asphalt repair to do. And the quickest, easiest way to get there would be to go right up the staircase here from here, because it's right on the other side of this wall. So we'd probably have to potentially use either a wheelbarrow and wheelbarrow it up there, or we use the Bobcat and go all the way up the path that goes on the back side of this gymnasium and then wraps around over to this area. So it's going to be one of the two, but for sure we'll probably want our Bobcat here in order to get asphalt up and over this wall to that area. So I'm just inside of the parking lot there where that patch is. Right here we've got a pothole, or it's just starting to sink, so the water's not going in the catch basin and the kids are starting to splash in it. So we need to remove around this catch basin and over. So this is going to end up being approximately an 8 by 8 patch right here. Okay, now I'm at the south end of the property where that circular turnaround is. And if you come up the steps about 120, 140 feet, you've got this building here, which has 2 concrete panels that need to be removed and replaced. We're going to assume that this here, we'll assume that this is 5 inches. I'm not positive if it's going to be 5, 6, or 4 inches, but I want to be covered here. It could be 4 inches, but let's just say 5 inches here. They tried to make a ramp here, so they did like a skim coat over the top and then tried to ramp it up. So we're gonna have to take this panel out and that panel. So you got a 5 by 10 panel and a 5 by 10 panel. When we pour these, you can see that it has a slope up to this doorway. So we'll have to pour this in so that we can create this small little ramp going in. Gets a little flatter when you get in this area. It raises up slightly from here to there. But a 5 by 10, actually this is bigger than a 5 by 10 right here. Here you have a 7 by 10, so let me make that correction. 5 by 10, 7 by 10. And you can see on the texture here, it doesn't look like it's broom finish. It kind of looks like a light exposed look. It's not even, I don't even think it doesn't have a broom finish on it at all. But 5x10, 7x10, and I need to ask how we create this, if this is like if we have to wash this just slightly to create this look or not. All right, then we have this panel right here. As you come up the steps about 100 feet away, you got this huge large panel that needs to be taken out. We've got this pipe here. So what we have here is about a 13 by 11 panel here, all one big panel. Needs to be removed and replaced because it's got cracking. Everywhere else looks like it's pretty good, but this one for sure needs to be taken out. Okay, I'm going to show you. Here's the access point up the grass to there. So I'm thinking I think a line pump would probably be good from that location there. If we backed up right to the edge of the asphalt and then ran it up to here, we could do that. Okay, so that's that. The last thing here is these railroad ties. They want to take these railroad ties out and replace with concrete. So they want to take these railroad ties out, and they want to form and pour this extension with concrete. Heavy broom finish on it. And then on the ends, they want to put some little grooves on the edge of the steps to just create a little bit more traction on the edge. And then what we'd also do is propose to paint a little 6 foot by 2 inch yellow strip on the edges of all these steps. Okay, so that's 6 foot. 6 foot, we're going to say 6 foot by 12 inches. Okay, so 6 foot by 1 foot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So there's 25. They get a little bit bigger down here, so we'll have to change that. Okay, I just figured out the total length of all of these. Okay, it's 165 feet. 165 feet by 1. The depth on this is going to be 6 inches. Okay, that's about what these railroad ties are. They're 6 inches tall. Now here's the thing, on the removal, it's not just one railroad tie. There's actually 2 railroad ties stacked. One's underneath this, so there's 2 total. So that means we're gonna have to remove double the amount of railroad ties here and dispose of all of them. Okay, which if I said there's 26 steps here, you know, that's gonna be 52 railroad ties that we're gonna have to remove out of here and dispose of. Then we gotta put gravel to fill up the first 6 inches to where we get all the way up to the surface of each step. And then we're gonna form right on the outside here, form the outside part here, and then pour these steps in. All right, so that's 165 feet by 1, and that's 6 inch depth to form and pour all these steps in. Heavy broom finish, and then that little tread on the end. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll give you an example down here at the end of the lot here. They want to get all of these removed and replaced, hopefully this year. And I did confirm that they were okay with us doing a heavy broom finish on these. All right, so I'm at the bottom of the staircase here where the circular drive is. You come up, circle around. This is where we could reserve this whole area here and have it blocked off. Ideally, they would, of course, like to get this work done when there's no kids here and there's different periods. I think there's like a 10-day period in February, at the end of February. There's also another period in April. I took a picture of those dates on his schedule board where they've got breaks, school breaks, whether it's winter break or spring break. and we could do the asphalt and concrete either in February or in April, potentially. If we don't get it during those time frames, we'd probably have to do it sometime during the summer. All right, so this is the staircase to be replaced. Up there, you've got that concrete to be removed and replaced on those 3 panels up there. Over here, you've got this walking path, which is just up the hill from the ball field. And now that there's less kids here, I feel a little bit more comfortable doing a video on this area. But as you go up this path, we did this patch here, by the way. You've got one more area of asphalt, and it's this pathway right here. So this pathway, they need to saw cut it and remove it all the way down to the staircase there, because we got tree root damage going on right here. They cut a tree here earlier last year, but they still got all this cracking. So we're gonna have to remove this and replace the asphalt. We're assuming 4 inches here. So this pathway is a 30 by 6. 30 by 6, remove and replace all those up the hill. You see some roots are trying to pop through, so we got to cut some of those small roots out, do a saw cut line right here. We have to paint back this yellow too. So one of the last things on the striping is this yellow line that goes all the way down and around this island here. You've got this yellow striping that needs to be replaced there. And then in front of those chips, they want the same kind of yellow line as this to be done. So we got to plug in 200 feet of yellow striping, 4-inch yellow striping around in front of those chips there, around this island. So around this island, in front of those chips there, from the railroad tie over to where the railroad trips stop at that playground. And then you've got this yellow line starting from here, going down to the staircase. All right, that should be it. Easiest way to get to this asphalt, I showed you earlier that staircase that's over there. But if you follow this path and go all the way around, there's a path that those kids are on that we could drive the Bobcat up through there, or we can simply just bring the truck up here and go down the path. And this is about 120, 150 feet away. Okay, that was fun. Trying to do a video around all those kids and not freak anybody out. It's okay though, I've got a badge on, so. The time frames in order to do this asphalt and concrete work, I will have that plugged in on Workman's dashboard, because he gave me those times in the winter and spring that we could do this. The striping, we'll figure on the striping later on in the summer when the weather's nice and warm. There's no rush on the striping, but we do want to try to get the asphalt concrete work done either now or in the springtime. Okay. The last thing I need to show you is down over here, that one stall line that needs to be striped, that has rust on it, and it's on this new parking, and it's approximately, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, about the 13th stall down, there's one line that looks yellow. It's obvious. It's from rust coming off the nails here, and in the water stained the stall line. So we just have one stall to restripe down there. Now we'll do it for this job, okay? Asphalt concrete to do now, just restriping to do in the summer, as well as the crack fill. Any other questions, let me know. Thanks.